When you think of beaches, you probably imagine relaxation, sunshine, and the soothing sound of waves. But not all beaches are safe havens. Some are among the most dangerous places on Earth. I've spent my life traversing the world's most extreme environments, and I can tell you that a beautiful coastline can hide some of the deadliest threats imaginable. It's not just about what you can see, it's about the unseen currents, the hidden predators, and the raw, untamed power of nature that can turn a paradise into a nightmare in an instant. The ocean demands respect, and underestimating its power is a critical mistake. These places aren't your typical holiday spots. They are wild, unpredictable, and often lethal. From waters teeming with apex predators to shorelines battered by unforgiving waves, these beaches test the limits of survival. Have you ever wondered which beaches are the most dangerous and what makes them so deadly? It's crucial to know, because knowledge is your best tool for survival. Understanding the risks, from venomous creatures lurking in the shallows to geological instability, can be the difference between a thrilling adventure and a fatal encounter. Today, we're going to journey to these treacherous shores, from the remote corners of Australia to the volcanic coastlines of Hawaii. I'm going to break down the specific dangers that make each of these 10 beaches a no-go zone for the unprepared. We'll explore the hidden threats that lie beneath the surface and on the sands, equipping you with the vital information you need to stay safe. So buckle up. We're about to dive into the world's most dangerous beaches, where survival is the only game that matters. Our first stop is Cape Tribulation in Australia. The name itself, given by Captain Cook after his ship nearly wrecked here, should be a warning. At first glance, it's a stunning intersection of the Daintree rainforest and the Great Barrier Reef. You see pristine white sand, lush green jungle meeting turquoise water. It looks like paradise. But in the wild, the most beautiful places often conceal the greatest dangers. Here, every step you take, both on land and in the water, is fraught with risk. It's a classic survival scenario where you're surrounded by threats from all sides. The water, as inviting as it looks, is a minefield of venomous creatures. From October to May, these seas are infested with box jellyfish and irukandji jellyfish. A sting from a box jellyfish can cause cardiac arrest and death within minutes. It's one of the most venomous creatures on the planet. You wouldn't even see it coming. A silent, almost invisible killer. This isn't a place for a casual swim. Entering the water without a full-body stinger suit is like playing Russian roulette. You have to be constantly vigilant, scanning the water, knowing that a moment's lapse in concentration could be your last. If you think staying on the sand is safe, you'd be wrong. The creeks and estuaries that cut through the beach are prime territory for saltwater crocodiles, or salties as the locals call them. These are prehistoric predators, powerful and aggressive. They can grow up to 7 meters long and can lie perfectly still, camouflaged in the murky water, waiting for an opportunity. They are ambush predators, and once they have you in their jaws, there is very little chance of escape. Never ever get complacent near the water's edge here. The dangers don't stop there. The rainforest that borders the beach is home to some of Australia's deadliest snakes, like the eastern brown. And then there's the cassowary. This isn't just any bird, it's a large, flightless bird with a dagger-like claw on each foot that can disembowel a human. They are territorial and incredibly aggressive if they feel threatened. You might be admiring the scenery, and suddenly you're face to face with a creature that looks like a modern-day dinosaur, and it sees you as a threat. So, at Cape Tribulation, you have a triple threat. Venomous stingers in the ocean, massive crocodiles in the estuaries, and aggressive, dangerous wildlife on the shore. It's a perfect storm of natural hazards. This place is a stark reminder that in the wild, you are not at the top of the food chain. Survival here requires constant awareness, respect for the environment, and understanding that nature in its purest form is both beautiful and brutal. Next, we travel to the island of Kauai in Hawaii to Chowpatty Beach. This place is breathtaking, a reward at the end of a challenging hike along the famous Kilauea Trail. You emerge from the dense jungle to find a secluded cove with golden sand, flanked by dramatic, sheer cliffs. It feels like you've discovered a hidden world. But this beauty masks an incredibly powerful and treacherous force: the ocean itself. There are no lifeguards here, no warning flags, just you and the raw, untamed Pacific. The primary danger at Chowpatty is not a creature, but the water's own immense power. The beach is notorious for its powerful rip currents. These are like rivers within the ocean, flowing directly away from the shore at incredible speeds. Even the strongest swimmer can be swept out to sea in a matter of moments. The currents are unpredictable and can form without warning. If you get caught in one, fighting against it is a fatal mistake. It will exhaust you and pull you under. The key is to swim parallel to the shore, but panic is a powerful enemy. What makes this even more deadly is the geography. There are no other accessible beaches for miles in either direction along this rugged coastline. The nearest safe shore is nearly 6 miles away. So, if you're swept out, there's nowhere to go. You are at the mercy of the open ocean, facing exhaustion and hypothermia. The waves here are also incredibly powerful, especially during the winter months when massive swells pound the coastline. They can crash onto the shore with enough force to knock you off your feet and drag you into the churning water. A grim, unofficial tally is kept on a sign near the trail entrance, marking the number of people who have drowned here. It's a sobering reminder of the beach's lethal reputation. Many of the victims were strong swimmers who simply underestimated the ocean's power. They saw the beautiful water and thought they could handle it, a common and often deadly miscalculation. The sheer cliffs that make the cove so beautiful also mean there's no easy way out if you get into trouble. Surviving Chowpatty is simple: stay out of the water. This is a beach for admiring from a safe distance. You can appreciate its raw beauty, feel the spray on your face, and listen to the thunder of the waves, but you must respect its power. It's a powerful lesson in humility. Sometimes the greatest act of survival is knowing when not to engage, when to recognize that the forces of nature are far greater than you are, and to simply step back. Our journey now takes us to the coast of South Africa, to a place called Gansbaai. This town has earned a fearsome nickname, the Great White Shark Capital of the World. The danger here is not hidden or subtle. It's right there in the name. This is ground zero for one of the ocean's most efficient and powerful apex predators. While the beach itself might look ordinary, the waters just offshore are anything but. This is a place where humans can come face to face with their primal fears. The reason for this incredible concentration of great whites is a narrow channel between two islands, Dyer Island and Geyser Rock. This channel is aptly named Shark Alley. Geyser Rock is home to a massive colony of some 60,000 Cape fur seals. For the great white sharks, this is an all-you-can-eat buffet. The seals are their primary food source, and the sharks patrol these waters constantly, hunting. It's a raw, natural spectacle of predator and prey. While many people come here specifically for cage diving, to see these magnificent creatures up close from the safety of a steel cage, any activity in these waters carries an inherent risk. Surfing, swimming, or even kayaking is incredibly dangerous. You are willingly entering the hunting ground of a super predator. A shark doesn't necessarily hunt humans, but in these murky waters, a surfer on a board can easily be mistaken for a seal, leading to a tragic case of mistaken identity. The power of a great white is staggering. They can reach speeds of up to 35 miles per hour and attack from below with explosive force, a behavior known as breaching. You wouldn't see it coming. One moment you're on the surface, the next you're hit with the force of a small car. Their bite is devastating. Survival from an attack is rare and often depends on sheer luck and immediate expert medical attention, which isn't always available on a remote stretch of coast. Visiting Gansbaai is a lesson in the food chain. It's a visceral reminder that we are not always at the top. While the cage diving industry here is built around safety, It's the environment itself that is inherently dangerous. It highlights the raw, untamed nature of the ocean. Respect is paramount. You are a visitor in their world, a world ruled by instinct and power. To forget that, even for a second, would be a grave mistake. We now move from dangers you can see, like sharks, to a threat that is invisible but just as deadly. We're at Chowpatty Beach in Mumbai, India. This is one of the most famous beaches in the country, a hub of city life, festivals, and social gatherings. It's vibrant and full of energy. But beneath this lively facade lies a serious problem. The water here is one of the most polluted in the world, making it a biological hazard zone. The main issue is the sheer amount of untreated sewage and industrial waste that is pumped into the sea nearby. The water is a toxic soup of bacteria, heavy metals, and chemical pollutants. The sand itself is littered with garbage, from plastic bottles to discarded religious offerings. Every year, during the Ganesh Chaturthi festival, thousands of plaster of Paris idols, coated in chemical paints, are immersed in the water, adding to the contamination. It's a cultural tradition with severe environmental consequences. Swimming in this water is incredibly risky. You're exposing yourself to a cocktail of pathogens that can cause a range of illnesses, from gastrointestinal infections like cholera and typhoid, to skin diseases, rashes, and ear infections. The levels of fecal coliform bacteria in the water are often thousands of times higher than what is considered safe. It's not a matter of if you'll get sick, but how sick you'll get. This is a different kind of survival challenge. It's not about fighting off a predator. It's about protecting your body from microscopic invaders. Even just wading in the water can lead to infection if you have a small cut on your skin. The smell alone is often a strong indicator of the danger, a pungent aroma of decay and chemicals. Yet, you will still see people in the water, often out of necessity or a lack of awareness of the true extent of the danger. Chowpatty Beach is a stark example of man-made danger. Unlike the wild, untamed power of nature we've seen elsewhere, this threat is a direct result of human activity and overpopulation. It's a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous environments are the ones we create ourselves. Survival here means understanding the unseen threat and making the conscious choice to stay away from the water, no matter how tempting it might be on a hot day. We return to Hawaii, but this time to the Big Island, home to one of the world's most active volcanoes, Kilauea. The beaches here are unlike any other. They are made of black sand, created when molten lava flows into the ocean, shatters, and is ground down by the waves. It's a dramatic, almost alien landscape. But this beauty is born from an incredibly violent and dangerous process that is still happening today. The primary danger here is the volcano itself. Kilauea has been erupting almost continuously for decades. This means that at any time, fresh lava flows can reach the coast. These rivers of molten rock are over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Getting too close can result in severe burns from the radiant heat alone, even without direct contact. The ground can be unstable, with thin crusts of cooled lava hiding molten rock just beneath. A wrong step could mean plunging into a fiery abyss. When the hot lava hits the cold ocean water, it creates a phenomenon known as laz, a portmanteau of lava and haze. This is a massive plume of steam laced with hydrochloric acid and tiny volcanic glass particles. Breathing this in is incredibly dangerous. The acid can cause lung, eye, and skin irritation, and the glass shards can cause permanent lung damage. The wind can shift without warning, engulfing you in this toxic cloud. Furthermore, the new land created where the lava meets the sea, known as a lava delta, is extremely unstable. It's essentially a shelf of newly formed rock with no solid foundation. These deltas can collapse into the ocean at any moment, without warning, triggering localized tsunamis and launching hot rocks and water hundreds of feet into the air. Anyone standing on or near the delta when it collapses would be instantly killed. These black sand beaches represent the raw, creative, and destructive power of the earth. You are witnessing geology in action. It's a humbling and awe-inspiring sight, but it demands extreme caution. This isn't a place to lay down a towel and sunbathe. It's an active geological zone. Survival here means keeping a significant distance, heeding all official warnings, and understanding that the ground beneath your feet is literally being created and destroyed in real time. We're heading back to the United States, to a popular spot on Florida's Fun Coast, New Smyrna Beach. This place looks like your quintessential American beach destination. Miles of white sand, great surfing waves, and plenty of sunshine. It attracts millions of visitors every year. But New Smyrna has a dark secret. It holds the sinister title of the shark attack capital of the world. More shark attacks have been recorded here than anywhere else on the planet. The reason for this high number of encounters is a perfect storm of factors. The waters off New Smyrna are incredibly rich in marine life, which means they are a fertile feeding ground for numerous shark species, particularly bull sharks and blacktip sharks. These sharks are not necessarily looking for humans, but they are here in huge numbers, hunting for the bait fish that also congregate in the area. It's a busy place under the water. The second factor is the sheer number of people in the water. New Smyrna is a world-famous surfing spot. On any given day, you have hundreds of surfers and swimmers sharing the water with a high concentration of sharks. The water is also often murky, reducing visibility. A shark hunting for fish can easily mistake a dangling hand or a foot for its intended prey. It's a classic case of mistaken identity in a crowded, low-visibility environment. Most of the bites at New Smyrna are not fatal. They are typically quick hit-and-run attacks, where the shark bites, realizes it's not its normal food, and lets go. However, even a non-fatal bite from a bull shark can cause catastrophic injuries, severing arteries and causing massive blood loss. The sheer frequency of these incidents is what makes this beach so dangerous. Statistically, if you've swum at New Smyrna, you've likely been within 10 feet of a shark. This beach is a numbers game. The more sharks you have in one area, and the more people you have in that same area, the more likely you are to have an encounter. It's simple probability. While the risk of a fatal attack is low, the risk of being bitten is higher here than anywhere else. It's a stark reminder that when we enter the ocean, we are entering a wild environment on its terms, not ours. You have to be aware, avoid swimming at dawn or dusk when sharks are most active, and understand the risks you're taking. Our next location takes us back to Australia, to the world's largest sand island, Fraser Island. This is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a place of staggering natural beauty with freshwater lakes, ancient rainforests growing on sand, and a 75-mile-long beach highway. It's honestly an adventurer's paradise. But Fraser Island is also a place where multiple dangers converge, making it one of the most hazardous coastal environments on Earth. It's not just one threat here, it's a whole host of them. Let's start with the ocean. The waters surrounding Fraser Island are notoriously treacherous. Strong currents, known locally as rips, are everywhere and can easily pull swimmers out into the open sea. But that's not the worst of it. These waters are a hunting ground for large sharks, including great whites and tiger sharks, drawn in by the abundant marine life. Swimming in the ocean here is strongly advised against by every local authority for this reason alone. If you think the island's famous freshwater lakes are a safe alternative, you need to be cautious. While beautiful, they are not without risk. But the real danger comes back to the coastline and the tidal creeks. Just like at Cape Tribulation, these waters are home to saltwater crocodiles. And as if that wasn't enough, the waters can also have seasonal influxes of irukandji and box jellyfish, the same deadly stingers we encountered further north. It's a deadly aquatic cocktail. On land, the dangers continue. Fraser Island is home to a population of wild dingoes. While they may look like domestic dogs, they are wild predators and can be aggressive, especially if they have been fed by tourists and lost their natural fear of humans. There have been several attacks, including a fatal one on a child. Beyond the dingoes, The island is also home to some of Australia's deadliest spiders, like the funnel web and venomous snakes. Fraser Island is the ultimate survival challenge because it throws everything at you at once. You have sharks, crocodiles, jellyfish, dangerous currents, wild dingoes, snakes and spiders. It's a place that demands constant situational awareness. You can't let the stunning beauty lull you into a false sense of security. Every part of this environment, from the waves to the woods, holds a potential threat. It's a powerful testament to the wildness of Australia. We now travel to the Pacific coast of Oaxaca, Mexico, to a beach with a chilling nickname, Playa Zipolite, which in the local Zapotec language is said to mean Playa de los Muertos, or Beach of the Dead. For decades, this beautiful stretch of sand, popular with backpackers and known for its bohemian vibe, has harbored a deadly secret: some of the most powerful and dangerous undertows and rip currents on the planet. The name itself is a stark warning. While the beach looks idyllic, with golden sands and a laid-back atmosphere, the ocean here is incredibly aggressive. The seafloor drops off sharply close to the shore, which, combined with powerful Pacific swells, creates exceptionally strong and unpredictable currents. These currents can drag even the most experienced swimmers underwater and out to sea with terrifying speed. Many unsuspecting tourists have been caught, leading to the beach's grim reputation. For a long time, the number of drownings was alarmingly high. The combination of powerful waves and a lack of awareness among visitors created a lethal situation. You'd see people enjoying the sun one minute, and the next, they'd be fighting for their lives against an invisible force pulling them away from the shore. The sheer power is hard to comprehend until you feel it. It doesn't just pull you out, it pulls you down. In response to the high number of fatalities, a volunteer lifeguard team was established in the 1990s. These are incredibly brave and skilled individuals who have drastically reduced the number of deaths. They are experts in reading the treacherous water and performing rescues in extremely difficult conditions. However, their presence doesn't eliminate the danger, it only manages it. The currents are still there, as powerful as ever. Zipolite is a case study in how a beach's geography can create a specific, persistent, and deadly hazard. The name Beach of the Dead wasn't given lightly, it was earned through tragedy. It serves as a potent reminder to always heed local advice and warning signs. Even with lifeguards on duty, the ultimate responsibility for your safety lies with you. Underestimating the power of the ocean at Zipolite is a gamble that too many people have lost. For our penultimate beach, we're returning to Australia one last time, to the remote and wild coastlines of the Northern Territory. This vast, sparsely populated region is the epitome of the untamed outback meeting the ocean. The beaches here are stunningly beautiful and often completely deserted. You could walk for miles and not see another soul. But there's a very good reason these waters are empty. They are home to the world's most venomous animal. The danger here is the Chironex fleckeri, more commonly known as the box jellyfish. During the wet season, from roughly October to May, these creatures swarm the coastal waters. They are almost transparent, making them nearly impossible to see. Their tentacles, which can be up to 10 feet long, are covered in millions of tiny stinging cells, called nematocysts. If you brush against one, it's not just a sting, it's a massive injection of potent venom. The venom of a box jellyfish is one of the most powerful in the animal kingdom. It attacks the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, and skin cells simultaneously. The pain is described as excruciating, beyond comprehension. But the real danger is how fast it works. A major sting can cause cardiac arrest and death in as little as 2 to 5 minutes. There is often not enough time to get out of the water, let alone receive medical attention. This makes swimming in the Northern Territory during stinger season an act of extreme recklessness. Local authorities post numerous warnings, and public awareness is high, but tourists are still at risk. Even wading in the shallows can be fatal. The tentacles can break off and drift in the water, remaining venomous. the only way to protect yourself is to stay out of the ocean completely, or wear a full-body stinger suit, and even that isn't a 100% guarantee. The Northern Territory's beaches are a prime example of a silent killer. There's no fin cutting through the water, no roar of a predator. There's just the warm, inviting tropical water and an almost invisible, gelatinous creature that can end your life before you even know what's happening. It's a survival situation where avoidance is the only strategy. The sheer lethality and speed of the box jellyfish venom make these some of the most unequivocally dangerous waters on the planet. For our final destination, we are leaving the ocean behind and heading deep into the heart of South America, to the beaches along the Amazon River. Yes, a river can have beaches, vast sandy banks that appear during the dry season. They might look like tranquil spots to rest, but the water of the Amazon is a world away from any ocean. It is a murky, mysterious world, teeming with some of the most fearsome and bizarre creatures on Earth. The most famous resident is, of course, the piranha. While their man-eating reputation is often exaggerated, they are a real threat. A school of red-bellied piranhas, attracted by the scent of blood, can strip flesh from bone with terrifying efficiency. A small cut or wound could attract a frenzy. Swimming in waters known to have large piranha populations is a risk you simply don't want to take. Their razor-sharp teeth are designed for one purpose: tearing flesh. But piranhas are just the beginning. The Amazon is home to the mighty anaconda, one of the world's largest snakes. These are powerful constrictors that lie in wait in the shallows for their prey. An adult anaconda could easily overpower and drown a human. Then there's the electric eel, which isn't actually an eel, but a type of knife fish. It can generate an electrical shock of up to 860 volts, more than enough to incapacitate an adult human, causing them to drown even in shallow water. The list goes on. The candiru, or vampire fish, is a tiny parasitic catfish infamous for its alleged ability to swim up the urethra of anyone urinating in the river, a horrifying and excruciatingly painful prospect. You also have caimans, relatives of crocodiles, lurking in the muddy banks, and countless other venomous insects, spiders, and snakes on the shore. The water itself is murky, so you have no idea what you're swimming with. The beaches of the Amazon are a front line to a world that is hostile to human life. It's an environment where every creature has evolved a formidable defense or attack mechanism. It is, without a doubt, the most biologically hazardous body of water on our list. Survival here is not about dealing with one threat, but about navigating a complex ecosystem where you are out of your element and surrounded by creatures perfectly adapted to hunt and kill in these murky depths. From the shark-infested waters of South Africa to the toxic shores of Mumbai and the volcanic coastlines of Hawaii, we've seen how paradise can have a dark side. These 10 beaches are a powerful reminder that nature's beauty often comes with immense power and danger. They are not places for the complacent or the unprepared. They demand respect, knowledge, and a healthy dose of fear. The key to survival in any environment is understanding the specific threats you face, whether it's an invisible current, a venomous creature, or an unstable landscape. Each of these locations teaches a vital lesson. They show us the raw power of the ocean, the efficiency of apex predators, the devastating impact of pollution, and the sheer force of a planet that is constantly changing. Adventure is about pushing your limits, but it's also about knowing when to stop, when to observe from a distance, and when the risk is simply too great. The world is full of incredible places to explore, but your safety must always be your #1 priority. Preparation and awareness are your most valuable pieces of gear. Never underestimate the wild. The difference between an unforgettable trip and a tragedy often comes down to research and respect. Heed the warnings, listen to the locals, and trust your instincts. So, next time you plan a beach getaway, remember, some of the world's most beautiful beaches are also the most dangerous. Stay safe and always do your research before you dive in.